I want maybe anybody on the panelists, I'm hoping someone would respond to what we left off with about how we create a common vision for our future. I'm hoping that, I would like to throw this question to Dr. Uduyoye.
I had wanted to follow up on what we heard about the Odu, the Yoruba religion, and to say that my name, my Nigerian name means the oracle has predicted honey. Oduyoyi. Oduyoyi. The oracle has predicted honey. But we can't just sit here and hope that the oracle is going to make the honey for us. And you cannot make honey if you are not going to be able to know how to face the bees. So the question that I was having in my mind as we were going through the panel is, how are we going to have this kind of forum where you live, in your own area? Are you able to get together people of different faiths who are of African descent, whatever, and talk about how we put ourselves back together where we haven't put ourselves back together? So that was all I wanted to say before we go. It's important for us to know that there's one of us whose work is that he is not going to travel on those other airlines. He's going to travel on the African airline that has survived all these years. The only one that from the beginning has not fallen through like the one in the country that I came from. And I said, I clapped quietly for him here because my brother works with Ethiopian Airlines. My brother is a pilot on Ethiopian Airlines. But that makes us proud. That tells us that we can do things like that that survive and are, appreciated by us and showcases us. So mine is just a short intervention to say it's very nice to come together like this and to talk. But I think the practicalities of creating something. I have been in this business of trying to do inter-religious groups with women for years. And I know what we go through with those who will just talk about it but don't want to practice. So I'm just wanting to put this in to say, please do try and make people know that the religions are here to create in us, to infuse us with a spirituality that brings the human beings together as human beings who are compassionate and who respect one another and respect their origin, which is their one creator. That's all I wanted to add.
Thank you, Dr. Uduyoye. Yes, you're back.
I think, thank you very much, Madam. Mr. Moderator, I normally wouldn't want to go the way I'm going now, but Madam has said it. It's in my mind. I just want to emphasize on it that there's different coming here, listening to all that good things, and then we go back and that will be the end of it. When that's happened, then it means we are not making any headway. So let's start thinking of how do we concretize what we are coming to preach. Of course, these are a small audience, but we can have a ripple effect of it if we think deeply and put certain structures down. One, to my mind, is let's find out how we can more or less empower ourselves economically, because it is the foundation of everything. You see, whether we like it or not, in implementing so many things that we have in mind, money is the basis. And our people have been impoverished for a long time. This is a time we have to recreate. We have the power and the ability to do that. What we need is the connection and the contact. People have the resources, but they may not know where to go, what to do. Some people have the talents, but they don't have the resources. But this forum can easily bring us together. By the time we leave here, let's see what is it that we can do economically to make sure that we emancipate ourselves, so that we can then face whichever authority that stands our way as we move forward. Economically, let's empower ourselves. And let's look at, amongst us, we have invested. Those who are willing to invest. But we are not going to invest in something that will go and benefit people who are our detractors. We invest in what will actually help our own people. And once that is done, the rest, I'm sure, will fall in place. Let us not shy away and say, well, we're talking like, no. Money first. Now, the second aspect is to start looking at how to recreate our own education and its course content, right from the kindergarten up to the university level. Otherwise, we will continue talking about emancipation of our people, but where they are having their first tuition, once that has not been changed, we'll still have problems. And so, once we are able to recreate some course content for ourselves, we start building our own schools. There's nothing that once with the power that you have a vision, you start it, no matter how long it will take. So what Madam is saying, that is absolutely true. From here, let's see, how can we contact each other? What is it that I have, you don't have? Let's put it together. Or the secretariat or the center, the organizers should get a list. Put down, everybody has his list of what he's capable of doing, so that in case somebody is in doubt, he can contact the organizers. I want this done. Who do you think can do with among our forum or members here? They say, oh, go contact this person. This, that. Everybody has a talent. I believe together with all our talents, we'll go places. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Sanders?
Yes, okay. I was, I'm trying to think about my own life, what I've tried to do with it. I reasoned that I would be living maybe 80 years, maybe a few less, maybe a few more. And I asked myself early in life, what shall I do with my life in the world? What shall I do with what God has gifted me to do? With, I should say. Not only do I fly on Ethiopian and no other airline, but I'm coming to Africa. I'm going to West Africa, going to East Africa first. And I don't plan to change it. The other thing I've done is this. I've driven a car, y'all, which my daughter disagrees with, for 25 years. I've had one car for 25 years. And now it's at the point where it may be costing me a little more, but I'm not so much concerned about that, because it's not about me. It's about the image that I present to my brothers and sisters. Since you don't buy, you don't make cars, stop buying these big cars. You are ruining the people by doing so. Hello? Hi. So I've driven, it's called a Honda car. Now, that's a little participation, oppressive stuff. But what you do is minimize the oppressive stuff that you deal with. That's what you do. Grow your own food in the exile. By the way, I should tell you, where did I get all this from? First of all, I got all the knowledge about African religions. That was my subtopic, PhD program at Harvard. So I got all of that. What I want to know is, what do you do with what you know in practice? Not in theory, but in practice. You can have all the knowledge you want, but you don't know what to do with it. That's the question. So my advantage in life was this. I grew up in segregation. You hear me? Now, out of segregation in America, I learned how to self-segregate. Now, I don't want to give you segregation as a restriction, but the problem is that we black people, because we have been wanting so long, we think that liberation is getting what the oppressor has. And so we have been in a mess. So I learned to do that. Let me tell you what else I've done. The Navy asked me to come into its forces when I got a PhD. And it was going to be at the level of an officer of high rank. They said, we will take you into the Mediterranean. We want to show you what the Navy does in the United States. I said, our ancestors never did that. But I've been reading about, Jesus, when he was offered the world and their kingdoms. And he said, no. You get me?
Yes.
So I've been trying to do this my entire life. And the other final thing is, I started teaching at a white university for 5 years. Ain't gonna do that no more. I've been teaching for 33 years now in one of our institutions. Nobody can invite me to teach in any of their institutions. Did I get paid? No, I didn't get paid, but that was not my aim in life. So, when I see, this is how I teach religion in the exile. You see, you're forbidden African religions. We know that. But during the Black Power movement and Martin Luther King and Nkrumah on this, in this country and many others in Africa with liberation struggles, you have to ask, you know, what is it that you do? What is it that you, what is your understanding of liberation? What is it? And I think we are at fault on that one. We don't know what it is. For an indigenous oppressed people. Now, finally, in Ghana, what have I done here? For 25, 21 years, I've been coming. I've been trying to help our people to understand their religion and traditions, because integrationists, mad Negroes in the United States, you know, they've been going mad. They're just mad. And black people on the continent, they are mad also. We are mad with colonial habits. All right? So I studied it all. You know what I'm saying? So over here, I've been trying to do some things too. My daughter, who sits there here, went to Ethiopia, in the VOL.1 province in Ethiopia. We brought all sorts of stuff there, tried to help people to overcome famine and all kinds of things. See, I know all this stuff about religion, but what I tried to do is practice ancestral traditions in the context of struggle and on my own life, if that is in my own life. And so in Ghana, we've done a lot here too, but one of the things I don't do in Ghana is this. I'm not bringing anything from the United States that reminds the people of Ghana to make them unhappy with themselves. I ain't gonna bring no clothing over here that has any American emblem on it, nothing. That is not going to happen. I want you to wear your traditional clothing. I want you to give people jobs by doing so. I want you to raise your own food. And I want you to get the white people out of this country.
Yes. Yes.
This is what you got to do.
Thank
You
you.
know what our ancestors will do? If we do it, they will shout.
Thank you, Dr. Sanders. Daddy Bosco.
Yeah, what I'll say is I'm looking at the future, and everybody on this table will not be here, touch wood, in 20 years' time. Anybody who is here after 20 years, then we'll celebrate. Oh, my younger sister will be here. So what it is how do we go into the future? And the theater group gave us a cue. They said we were protecting our environment before EPA, before Professor Kululu and whoever came. So we were saying that don't fish on Tuesdays. Don't go to that forest on that day. There's a need for a sankofa. Another thing is, what legacy are you leaving? Dr. Saunders has told us personally what he's doing. And if we all take a cue from it, can you imagine how much the needle will move if everybody here suddenly decides not to fly Delta? One of my big friends is a big Rasta man. His airline of choice is Delta because it's America and it comes in business class. So if we all decide to be part of the change, can you imagine the impact we will make? Alaji spoke about economics. The Rastafari Council of Ghana has started the Black Star Line Cooperative Credit Union. It's our own small way of reliving the dream of Garvey. Garvey established the Black Star Line shipping company to bring the people home. We can't establish a shipping line. So what we did is we established a saving, a financial institution, and we have members all over the world. We have members in America, we have members in the UK, we have members in the Caribbean, we have members in Ghana. I won't tell you to join the Black Star Line Cooperative Credit Union, but if you with your people can decide we're not going to save in, what's the biggest bank in America now? And then you're going to start your own financial institution. You see, we need to start small to get big. And if we don't decide to take the bull by the horn, we'll meet here again. Kobana will call us here again, and we will be saying these same things. And like Alaji has challenged us, we wouldn't have a single thing to show to prove that the last time we met in Cape Coast, out of the multitude of resolutions we made, we've achieved this. I think it's important. Two last things. Where are the Nkrumahs, Kenyatas, Mandelas, Queen Nzingas of our generation?
And the Yasantuas
And the Yasantuas of our generation. I think it's important we all individually vow to be those persons. It's important because you see, if you do not decide to be part of a change, then you're part of the problem. Because what you'll do is you'll do what me and my friends we've been doing for over 50 years. Whining, complaining, blaming the white man, blaming the black man. It's the Ashantis who were strong, so they so da, 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 da. Let us all decide that today you will be the next Yasantewa, or you will be the next Nelson Mandela. Mandela was in prison for 27 years. When he came out, every black man thought he would push out the whiteys. He surprised everybody. My last thing I'll talk about is the role of technology. The role of technology. How do we leverage technology? Young kid, Mark Zuckerberg, is proven to us that in less than a generation, you can effect a paradigm shift. Most of my friends from high school, and I'm talking 1980, we found ourselves on Facebook. So how do we leverage technology? such that we can be able to spread the good news. Somebody says every day you can do, like Dr. Saunders, for instance, every day you can do an episode on YouTube and it will go viral and knowledge will go. I'm suggesting that we all take advantage of technology. And my grand auntie, we used to tease her that she wasn't on WhatsApp. Professor Eddie. But the point is, nobody is too old to learn. And the same tools they use to enslave and brutalize us are the same tools we will use for our liberation. So let's not shy away from technology. In getting down, let me read this thing by Haile Selassie. And it says, our people should take advantage of the benefits of modern civilization. It's very, very important, such that when we here, minus the young lady, have joined the ancestors, we can see your work and shout a shout of triumph like Dr. Saunders said. He said, when we do the right things, our ancestors will do what? So please, let's all resolve today to be part of that change. So next time when we meet, we can celebrate our triumphs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Brisbane? Dr. Brisbane, would you like to? No? Okay. All right. So this is the time where if we have any questions from the audience, we can take them now. If you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand and have a take the one of the mics. One of the mics.
My name is Adrian Lamte. I'm happy to sojourn in Nigeria for 35 years. And during that time, I discovered that there was a particular business Mongol called Mashood Abiola Kashimao. MKO Abiola in short. That is Mashood Kashimao. Olarikan Abiola. He talked about reparation. He emphasized on it so much that at the end of the day, he decided to go into politics. 1993, MKO Abiola won the election in Nigeria. President Babangida annulled the election in Nigeria. Abiola was castrated. 6 years down the line, there was an agitation that Abiola must be released from detention. So the agitation brought people from the West. So in a party, or in a meeting, Abiola's tea was poisoned because they saw that Abiola was anti-West. So the only solution is to terminate Abiola. So that is when Abiola was terminated. And we've not seen anybody who has talked about reparation all this while. We're talking about emancipation, reconciliation. When are we going to get the Abiolas? Because I've been part of Panopes for the past 20 years. 1997, that was my first visit to Panopes. 1999 I was here, 2001 I was here, 2003 I was here. I've been coming like that until the bazaar was cancelled. Rabbi can testify to that. 6 years down the line I came here, I was at the Heritage House. I was told that they have the colloquium, what, but there was no something like that. Now, like Alhaji Aziz Mohammed said, we can't come here and talk, then we go back again. My friend Bosco has also said that. At the end of the day, after talking, we come back again, the same thing. So I want the committee or whatever, probably some of us have not written down our names. I want to be part of these very meetings, wherever it will take place, in Ghana here or anywhere, I want to be part of it, because I also want to agitate that we must be liberated. The mental slavery is still bothering us. I think I have to rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Let's try and keep our questions very short. Aaron, would you like to respond? I think you were talking about reparations and how we liberate ourselves. Yeah.
Well, the gentleman may not have been here when I mentioned a piece of my view on reparations. Again, this is a family conversation, so we know what we generally think about reparations. So I won't rehash that, and I will let others on the panel who are more versed in it to elaborate more. But again, I want to offer an and to what we've been thinking of for reparations, right? Not a but. I'm not negating our quest for reparations. I'm not negating anything. I believe that we are a lot. So everything that I'm saying is an and. You know, your abuser cannot heal you. Your abuser can't heal you. And if you want your abuser to heal you, you're asking to be abused further. It means you're addicted to abuse. Now you should get paid for your labor. So that's the part that we all believe. So I'm not negating that. And if there's a way, let's do it. But sometimes you don't ask for things, you take it. So what I think, the and that I want to offer, is that we must be our own reparations. I talked about my name being Ransom, price being paid by my ancestors. I married an African. I am reparations. That little boy right there is reparations. Okay? We must repair ourselves. I want you on the continent of Africa, those who stayed, those who never left, I want you to heal whatever post-traumatic slave syndrome I have. You. I don't want John Ransom to do it, or his children, or his children's children. And I want to heal, and Dr. Vega, I heard you when you say we should create words, so I'm about to create a term. I want to heal your post-traumatic seller distrust and suspicion and guilt. That's hard to talk about. Ghana doesn't like to talk about that. But why do we distrust each other so much? Why do we distrust each other so much? In a transaction, there are two parties. There are two parties. But we are here to exercise revolutionary love. So there is no judgment. There is no blame. But we have to open our eyes and be honest, or else we can't move past it. We will continue to distrust each other if we can't say that if I am a wealthy Ghanaian, how I got that wealth. It's difficult. And you know, Africa gives to the diaspora some things that we are missing, and you should receive from the diaspora some things that you don't want to touch. Right. Revolutionary love. That's what it's about. And that's reparations. That is reparations. Forgiving yourself for participating in the worst atrocity committed against your own people. Being forgiven. Being forgiven for the door of no return.
Thank you.
I have two questions. I think the meeting is about interfaith dialogue, and that's why we've got these religious experts and